Hello, and welcome back to another episode of. Hello, and welcome back to the. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Brothers Whimm podcast. I'm your host here with my brother and co-host Ian. Ian, how you doing today?
Good. You didn't say your name. What if this is someone's first time?
No.
Yeah, we're gonna keep
Listen,
going.
we're gonna keep all of those intro takes in there. It's just gonna be 3 intro takes.
I actually kind of want to.
We should.
All right.
I'll keep it all in there.
I wonder if you can hear me giggle during it. This is Matthew, by the
you
way.
can. I mean, it's gonna be video, so you can see us just smiling. I'm
Jeez,
Matt, your host, joined by my brother and co-host Ian.
That's
Ian,
me.
how you doing?
I'm good. I'm tired. How are you?
Extremely tired.
Yeah. So, do you want to actually hear the host?
Yeah. So let's explain why we didn't upload a video last week, and we are extremely tired. We didn't upload a video last week because of something that I had to do. I was at band camp for marching band.
Yeah. So what is
Stevenson.
that? What is
So
band camp?
It's a week of marching band for the Stevenson marching band specifically, where we learn music, learn drill, which is like the movements of the to the music on the field. We are there from 9 in the morning to 9 at night, 12 hours a day, 7 days in a row, from Thursday to Wednesday. And we usually record on Thursdays, and as the week came, we just didn't record early. I wouldn't have been able to edit the podcast episode, so it just really didn't work out as well as planned. So there was no point in making an episode that week.
I was busy too. I mean,
Oh,
but Matthew
yeah.
was Moss busy, and he also
yes.
does more of the work on the behind the scenes stuff on this podcast. So
To get it out.
everyone, thank Matthew.
Thank you, Matt.
Thank you for your service.
Yes.
Well, I'll talk about why I was busy, but I want to hear more about like band camp. So was it a pleasant experience? Was it not pleasant? What do you think?
I mean,
do you look back on it? This is your last band camp. You're a senior.
Oh yeah. I mean, I could come back.
Would you?
There's a chance.
Oh. News to me.
I think only if there are certain scenarios, like when you come back after you graduate from college, there are people that are back that do not go to the school anymore. Like the drumline has like 4 people that I don't think go there, and 4 people that do go to Stevenson. If I were to come back, I would have like absolute leverage, so I'd be able to be like, hey, like my schedule isn't flexible, schedule around me. I'm not gonna schedule around you type of thing.
Sure.
Rather than it being a legitimate like class commitment, and I'm getting paid to do it. So.
You get paid?
Yeah, you get a stipend, but it's not.
So you're not getting paid right now? Or no,
No.
you do get a stipend, a small one, right?
At the end of the year.
Yeah, but more.
It has been smaller because of COVID. Usually, I think it's like $600 the first year, your first year marching, and then it goes up till my 4th year, which is this is my 4th year. I'll get $1,200 at the end of it.
Nice.
Which is nice because it's just like taking a class. I know how to play music, so I just kind of show up, do it, get through this week, which I have now, and I can look back and can't really remember any of it, honestly. We talked about it the entire time. Like, you just try to make it as much of a fugue state as possible.
Yeah.
Just like mindlessly do what you're told until the day, like the last day ends. And then you look back and you're like, wow, I skipped an entire week of my life.
Yeah, you just kind of comatose
like,
until you can get through it, and you're like, oh, I'm better now,
It's not...
Pull the plug.
Yeah, to answer your question, it's not truly fun in that sense. It's way too much work for what it is, but it's like we tried to think of ways to fix it, and there's really nothing you can do because you have to memorize the music. You can't have the music on you. You have to know where you move, when you move, what you play, how you play it, and you want to play it to the best of your ability.
Sure.
So like doing 120 hours back to back to back is like the only way to do it.
So is it productive in that sense? Do you feel well versed and everything? I mean, you kind of have
Yeah,
to, or is
I
it
mean,
more just like beaten like a brick wall, I guess, with the information at some point?
Sometimes it feels like that. I don't think this band camp had ever felt like that. It all kind of flowed pretty well. Like we were struggling up until like the last day to get everything like perfect. And then the last day it all came together and we had it down. But some band camps will have it down like the day before, and then we're just constantly redoing and redoing and redoing and redoing because we have to fill the time. Like, we're not going to not do it. But it never felt like that this one. This one was a lot easier than my previous 2 that I've done. So I'm grateful for that. I was also leadership. I led the drum line, so it was nice in that it was easier because I did not have to worry about as much.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's still not fun.
Yeah.
In a sense.
Yeah, I would just, I mean, like, this episode's kind of fun because, like I was telling Matthew before this, we really haven't talked to each other in, like, a week and a half. Like, we live in the same house, but, like, you've been out of the house for, like, the entire day. I've been busy with my stuff, too. But, like, yeah, we really haven't talked to each other. So I'm kind of hearing, like, these questions are not just like, oh
yeah, no.
like, genuine, like.
He has no clue what
I don't know
what I've done.
Yeah,
so
except, you wanted more water the one time.
Oh, yeah. I needed, like, every night I'd stock the fridge with 6 water bottles, and every morning I'd wake up and take all of them away.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then I'd still need to refill again, because it was a mess. Wednesday morning, I think it was Wednesday morning, the humidity was, like, probably above 80%. So, like, immediately went out there. It was 90 degrees, too. You go out, and you start sweating, and the sweat just sticks to your skin everywhere in your eyes. And it's just, like, you're marching. You can't do anything about it, and you just kind of have to deal with it. And it was, like, everything was soaked within 30 minutes. Drumline, you're carrying the heaviest instruments and doing the most work and playing the entire time. Like, the winds don't have to play the entire time, because if they do, their lips would just go numb. Like, you can't do that, from what I know. So they didn't make them play. They just had them sing their parts in the morning block that we did. But we play all day.
Yeah, and also drum's like the backbone of the music, you know?
Yeah,
like, it's important.
If we weren't there, like, I start everything in the show. So, like, I get tempo and I play, like, a measure solo right before every song to start it, which is cool. But it's like, if I wasn't there, Phil, my snare drum partner, would have to actually do that. And he definitely could. Like, he could definitely do that.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of, like, if the drumline wasn't there, like, music couldn't be played. Yeah. There's no way it could be played, because you're standing in the back, you're giving tempo. There's nothing else that they can go off of.
You're the backbone of this nation's society.
Yes.
Have you seen the movie The Campaign?
No.
I haven't either. But there's this one scene that my friend really likes, where it's what I think the movie is about is Will Ferrell and Zach Galifianakis are both running for some office, I don't know, like, politically. And there's a scene where Will Ferrell, I think he's the incumbent. I think that's what that means. Oh, God. Is the incumbent the person that's already in the office?
No,
I think that's the other way.
I think you're right.
Ugh, I don't know. Anyway, Will Ferrell is trying to get reelected, and he's going around to different, like, groups of people. And he's like a construction site. He's like, Latino construction workers are the backbone of this nation. And then he's like at some like carnival. He's like, carnies are the backbone or this nation's backbone, and it's really funny. But yeah, I just imagine they like meet up with all the individual like sections of the march band. They're like, this drum line is the backbone of our Stevenson marching band.
I think we're the only ones that would actually apply to. But they do. I guarantee you, they say that type of thing, like, to the low brass and things like that.
Yeah, they're like, give
you
them a
guys need, like, you are the backbone of this band.
Big deal.
If you weren't here, nothing would happen. It's like, well, we could still play if drumline was not there. If drumline was there and we just played terribly, they couldn't play either. Like,
I'm saying, that's what I'm saying.
It's a lot. So we got there a day early.
Did you?
Yeah, we got there.
So you were on Thursday, right?
Well, yeah, so I had a leadership meeting Wednesday, which was like 2 hours that I had to go to. And then Thursday was rookies come to learn marching technique and stuff like that.
Rooks.
Yeah. And then
do they carry all the the equipment for the other people?
No,
in football training camps?
No, it's like you are your own person type thing. Like,
oh, dang.
You're responsible for your own equipment and everything like that.
I wish there was some kind of hazing and marching.
No, I don't think there's much hazing. Like,
it's fair. It's a stupid thing, but it makes me laugh when you see
marching band hazing.
You see like rookies in the NFL get their hair shaved, or they have to carry everybody's equipment or get the water. You know.
If there was, that would be like terrible leadership. Like, we've had like, it was never rookies specifically, but there have been like instances where people are like lazy, like leadership is lazy in the past years, where they made people do things for them so that they could do something that wasn't as important. And it's just like, that just looks bad as like an actual leader.
Yeah, that type of leadership's always bad. Like in The Sopranos, they do this a lot, where it's like kind of like they're setting their roots, and like one of the characters, he's younger and he's like now like up in like the captains of like the family, the mob family.
Yeah.
And he's new and he's young, so he has to pay for all the meals for everyone when they go out.
Yeah.
And he gets mad, and there's a whole episode where he like gets upset about it, and like the old heads are like, I had to pay for meals like when I was your age. Like, you had to pay for mine. One day some kid will pay for your meals, and he's like, but for now you're paying for my meals. And it's like, yeah, but like, can we fix that? Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's
Can
like,
that stop? And COVID really helped with that, I think, because it just kind of leadership didn't matter because the marching band didn't really happen.
Sure.
And then now 64% of the band has never marched before.
Really?
Yeah. So it was a challenge. The drumline was half and half. Half of us have, half of us haven't. But there was only one new person. And they picked up extremely quick. Like, they were just as good as the other rookies, the other people who haven't marched.
Sure.
But yeah, it's just like we got there Thursday with the rookies, and we didn't do marching. They never taught us marching. We never sat in on the marching thing. We just started playing on Thursday. So Thursday to Wednesday, we played 12 hours. Like, we had lunch and dinner for an hour. Those were our breaks.
Yeah.
Other than that, there really wasn't anything else. And yeah, it gets to be a lot.
I can imagine.
The first day, we were in an unair conditioned building on Green Spring campus.
Gross.
Which we were like, they were getting the AC fixed, and it was supposed to be fixed before band camp started.
Sure, yeah.
And we go in the day of, and the dude's there, and we're like, so when can this get fixed? And he's like, yeah, it's broken. And we're like, yeah. And like, when can it get fixed? And he's like, tomorrow morning. I'm like, okay. I went to my instructor. I'm like, can we move? Like, is there any way we can go anywhere else? He's like, this is all we got. Because like, we are the loudest. Like, if we play outside, we are so loud that we will get noise complaints.
Yeah.
And we have in the past. There's a at Stevenson Green Spring campus, there's a nun, like, township.
A nunnery?
Literally, yeah. I was going to say nunnery. I was like,
I think nunnery's a word.
Maybe, but it's literally right next door. Like, it's the building across the parking lot. And it's the only one that's, like, an actual building nearby. Everything else is, like, expensive residential houses. And apparently the year before I got there in marching band, they played with the windows open in that same room. In the same room we were in, just windows open. And they filed a noise complaint and called the police on the drum line. And
chill nuns.
Yeah, so we had to keep the windows closed in an unair conditioned building. And it was miserable.
That sounds awful.
And it was a short day, but everyone probably agrees that was one of the worst days.
I can't wait to complain about my stuff, and then it just sounds like so like, compare. Like, I'm like, I had to listen to people talk.
Yeah.
We're 3 out now.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was to be expected.
Yeah,
that was the biggest thing. Like, I went into it thinking I just need to get through this week, which is, it's crazy now that I am, because, like I said, I'm still coming back to real life. I've not lived a real life for the past week.
Yeah, I feel like you're just, like you're comatose, like we were saying, and you're just, I feel like you're probably just sore.
Yeah, you have 12 hours there, and you have 12 hours here. What you choose to do with those 12 hours, it's important. I only had, like, I came home, I'd eat a meal, take a shower, and watch a YouTube video all within the hour I came home, and then I'd start to gear down for bed, and I'd go to bed, and it still wasn't enough sleep.
Yeah, your body having to recover.
Yeah, and then I had to wake up early because I commute. I have a 30-minute commute to get there. I pick up somebody every day.
It's nice of you.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot.
Is it out of the way, the person? I mean,
not the first couple of days it was out of the way, but he lives closer to the Owings Mills campus.
Sure, yeah.
And we were on Green Spring the first 3 days, so those days it was a bit out of the way, but I still had to wake up at around the same time. It was never. It was like 7 in the morning. I woke up.
Good guy.
Hey,
nice of you to do.
I try.
Well, you want to hear about my
exploits, trials and tribulations?
Exploits, I guess you could say. Yeah, they were fine. So
they were good.
I was busy too. So same day you started band camp last Thursday, the 19th. Yeah, the 19th.
I don't even
I
know.
said the math real quick with your calendar
when
down
I
there.
saw, like, we're in the 20s of August, I was like,
that's wrong.
Wow. I'm like, what happened?
Yeah.
I'm like, where'd August go? I'm like, I just turned 21.
I was gonna say, did we talk about that on the podcast?
I don't think so.
All right, we'll come back to it.
Yeah,
then.
okay. We got to save that then. But yeah, go ahead. It's just wild that we're through August already.
Yeah, it's weird. But yeah, I started my orientation for teaching, and I'm a new teacher, so we have this like new teacher orientation. And the first day, it was like every single new teacher in the county met at Century High School. And this is, if you're not in Carroll County, this doesn't really matter to you.
Yeah.
And then at the end of that, like that day, we went back. I went to my home school, right, and which is Shiloh Middle, and I was there for a little bit. Friday, Monday, and Tuesday, all the new teachers met with our content supervisor. So I'm secondary science. We all met together with the rest of the new secondary science teachers in the county, and we talked about curriculum and stuff like that. Went over some like planning and like equity training and all that. It was good. It was just you get tired of hearing people like talk at you about you feel like you hear the same thing like 30 times. And then Saturday, so going back in time, I had an orientation for my master's program at Stevenson at the Owings Mills campus. So it was just a lot of me sitting in a room listening to people talk at me for like 8 hours a day.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh my God. And it was also the first time I've worked in like 2 months
Yeah.
because I had the summer off for teaching, which was nice. But I was like, man, it's like it was the grind of like having to get up early, like being like, ooh,
restarting.
I gotta go. Yeah.
That restarting process sucks.
It was all good. I mean, Monday was a drag because it was my first Monday in a while.
Yeah.
And it was also like a lot of stuff I already knew from being a teacher last year, like setting up the grade book and stuff like that. So I was like, oh, but I'm all excited. It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
It just
That's
was
good to hear.
getting back in the swing of things and doing all that was kind of like, and just going and hearing people talk to you for 8 hours a day was kind of blah.
Yeah.
2 fun things I did though. Yesterday I went to Hershey with Emma, which was our first time at like a theme park together.
Yeah.
It was good. We both were scared that we weren't gonna like roller coasters anymore because.
Oh really? Just like it just turns off.
You get old, like
that's
I mean,
fair, but
like
Dad still loves roller coasters.
Yes.
Like there's nothing that beats it for me.
Yeah, no, I mean, good thing we still love them. They're great.
Yeah.
But the other thing I did was I went to a friend's birthday party and we like went to their community center place. Like they have like it's not townhomes, but it's like they have a community center in their little neighborhood, and it had a swing set on there. And Emma and I just like, ooh, swings. We went on it, and we both got like headaches from being on a swing. And this was before Hershey, and we were both like, oh no.
Yeah.
Like being
on
like
the big swings, and you're like, oh my God.
That was the first thing we went on actually.
Was
big
the swing?
swings.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So they were fine though, but we were just like, ooh, are we gonna be able to do this?
Yeah.
Like so.
Imagine going on those swings at Cedar Point that went up like 200 feet.
Yeah,
and did
no.
that. I don't. That's the one ride at Cedar Point I didn't get. The swing ride that you you spin around on a swing. It was like that, but it was just 200 feet in the air, and you spun the entire way up. You stayed, and then you came all the way down. It's like, what? That's not thrilling. That's just like torture.
There's one in Orlando that's like 400 feet tall. I know it's because one of my students last year did a research project on it for physics project, and I was like, that sounds awful.
Yeah, no, that sounds like a nightmare. Like when they made the King Dakar like launch ride that goes up 400 feet, along with the roller coaster, like the one on the back that shoots you up or drops you down. I was like, that's too high. Roller coasters have gone far too high. Like I've been on
humans
Top
shouldn't
Thrill
go that
drags
much.
there. Yeah, humans shouldn't go higher than that ride.
Do the things that humans do on that ride.
Yeah,
That's why I was scared of the G-forces. I'm like, roller coasters. I'm like, can my body handle this anymore?
Yeah,
I'm like a young 24, relatively healthy young guy.
Yeah.
I go pretty healthy. I mean, I can't
there
complain.
shouldn't be
complications.
Concerns,
but it was a good time. We got on all the stuff we wanted to.
Did you miss any? So you got on everything like
that we wanted to. We didn't get on the lazy river. Which,
did you want to?
Kinda, yeah. We were in the water park and we went on a slide together and we were like on that big like East Coast Waterworks, which was kind of fun. It's more of like it's like probably a child thing, but it was fun. Tidal Force,
fun. Yeah. Oh yeah, Tidal Force is always a goofy ride. It's a goofy ride. That's not even like a. I wouldn't even those types of rides. It's hard to classify as like a roller coaster or like a thrill ride because they're just like. I mean, they are thrilling for people that, don't like roller coasters and don't like heights. But it's literally just go up, go down.
Water.
Yeah, and it's the fact that it's so goofy.
The water splashes for so long. Like I was surprised. Yeah, I had my eyes open like after a little bit, and it's just like you're surrounded by splashing up water. I'm like, oh my gosh, like does it end? Are we here forever? But the main thing I wanted to hit was the Great Bear, favorite roller coaster.
Still?
Yeah, love it. What's your favorite?
Are we going outside of Hershey Park?
No, stay in Hershey.
At Hershey, Skyrush, 100%.
Skyrush was closed for a lot of the day.
That is, it was.
I've only been on it once, and I didn't like it because it hurt my thighs. I think I pushed down the thing too much.
That's fair. Yeah. It's it also feels like you could fall out like extremely easily.
Yeah, you could just
like
slip.
you could just like whoop, and then both your
There I
thighs
go.
come out and you're out.
Yeah, that one doesn't have a seatbelt. I feel like
no,
too.
it doesn't.
It's just
It's
the
literally
bar.
like it just crushes your thighs,
And it's
and
like,
then it
good
hopes
luck.
you stay on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the whole thing about legs is they get skinnier as they go.
Yeah. So
what if I scoot up too far?
Yeah, it's terrifying, but it's like, it's the only ride I think anywhere, like Cedar Point, no ride got me like my heart pumping as much as Skyrush does every single time because of the launch over the hill.
Yeah.
You can't prepare for it like and then dropping. It's just gonna slingshot you over into the ride. Like it's like 5 seconds. You don't have time to think about it.
I haven't been on it in too long, so I can't really give a review of Skyrush. Other than I thought I was my thighs hurt.
Yeah.
But we did 2 new things that I haven't done yet. There was this like Reese's Cuptopia, which if you remember at Disney World, the Toy Story the Toy Story
the
like
Toy
blasting
Story.
thing. Yeah. What is it called?
Toy
Something Mania.
Toy
Right?
Story Mania.
Sure.
That was a video game, I thought.
Maybe, but you know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about, right?
Yeah,
like
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like you shoot the things
Yeah, I
or whatever.
remember we went on that. It was like a 3-hour wait.
Yeah.
They tell you not. Like I looked up roller coaster. I was on YouTube and it was recommended. It was like roller coaster theme park recommendations, like how to hit every ride, and they were like, "Don't just skip these."
Yeah, right.
Like they're going to be 3 hours long.
So like this one was kind of long, like because it takes like a while to get through it. It was like
Yeah.
a 45-minute wait according to the app, which the app like tells you the wait times.
I
now,
didn't know
which is
they had
pretty
an app
cool.
now, which
Yeah,
is-
well they didn't have the paper maps because of COVID, which I didn't understand
Oh.
that, but whatever.
You-
Yeah, right. I'm like,
You
you
just
throw
throw
them
them
away.
away.
Yeah, I'm not,
That's the point.
because like it's actually funny.
I'm not just handing them out to people like, "Hey, you want my map?"
I had to eat my hat, if you will, because we were like about to go in, and I was like, "Ooh, I think we need like a map. Like I'm not gonna remember like where everything is." I was like, "Yeah, like there's a lot of new stuff. We should grab one." She's like, "Ooh, I don't know if they'll have paper maps." I'm like, "Why wouldn't I have paper
Yeah,
maps?" I'm like,
probably.
"She's like, well, COVID." I'm like, "I'm not coughing on it and give it to a stranger.
Yeah.
It's not like a menu at a restaurant. You don't have
Yeah.
to give it back when you leave." She's like, "Yeah, you're right." And then we didn't see him when we got there, and I went up to this lady like like under an umbrella. I'm like, "Hey, do you guys have the paper maps?" She's like, "No, unfortunately, due to COVID, we don't have them." And I turned around and I was just like smirking at me. And she's like, "See?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I know. I heard you. I know."
That's wild in my mind. Like
I was like, "What do you mean?"
Yeah.
Like I get good being careful, but like I just
yeah,
don't
it's good
understand
they're being careful.
in
but-
this consideration. You can't blame everything on COVID. You
Yeah,
know,
I
I
don't
think you didn't want to use the paper maps.
I mean, the only thing I'd see is like it's being passed around a family. So if one person does have COVID and they're like passing a map around, it's just actively spreading it.
yeah, but like if you
but-
came here in a car,
Yeah,
with
like
each
the
other.
point, like everyone's COVID policy is like if you came in the same car, you're in the same family, you can be together.
Yeah.
Without a mask on or like outdoors,
Mhm.
like things like that. So it just doesn't make sense. Like I'm not just like walking around like, hey, could I have your map, please?
Yeah, can you cough on it first,
Yeah,
please?
sorry. Yeah, I need your map.
Give it. Yeah, there's only so many. Yeah.
Yeah, like, they didn't give me a map. I need your map.
We have 7 of them, and you have to share.
yeah, you have to find the person with the map.
They're really hard to make because
Yeah,
you got
yeah.
one guy draws them.
Yeah.
But we went on the Cuptopia thing, and it was longer than 45 minutes. But luckily, it was going to take longer.
Yeah.
But they were like, "Hey, we need 2 people up here to finish off a thing."
Oh, yeah.
So we were 2 people, but we were like way in the back, and I was like, "Is anybody else 2 people?" And it was just us.
Yeah.
And because everyone was like taking their kids on it, so they had more than 2 people.
my
Because it was like a
Yeah, it's a
ride for
children's
children,
ride,
and
yeah.
like it wasn't like, oh, it's like the frog hopper where it's like,
Yeah,
this,
yeah.
it's still like an indoor like, whoa, it's a big spectacle.
Anyone
but, like,
can go on that
yes,
type of ride.
yes, but it was mainly for children.
Oh,
which,
yeah.
And I wasn't mad we got on it or anything, but
Yeah.
like I'm glad we didn't wait. I would have been upset if we waited like an hour for it.
Mm-hmm.
So it was fine. But the other new thing was the new coaster. Did you even know about this? I didn't know until we were
Laugh
gonna
track?
go. No, newer than that. It's called Candymonium or Candymonium.
Oh, I've heard of that. I heard they were like they had the name, but I didn't know.
Yeah.
Isn't it like where like past Skyrush and like past?
It's
Super
literally
Duper
like
Looper?
where the new entrance is. No, it's
Oh.
like first thing you see.
Damn.
Yeah, like they moved the entrance a
Is
little
it-
bit back to put more stuff in.
How big is it? Like
It's apparently it's like the longest and the fastest one in the ride. It's really cool.
Really?
Yeah, and luckily it wasn't
Damn,
that
I
long
gotta
of a
go
wait. It was like a 10-minute wait.
that's really
because
quick
it
for
was
a new
it's
ride.
very in the front.
Oh.
So like everyone was
yeah.
like, oh, we already went on it, and then Emma and I just kicked it on the way out, and it was awesome. It was like really cool. The thing is, it felt like a steel comet. You know how a comet is just like, whoa,
Oh,
a
yes.
hill, and then it's like, whoa, a hill, whoa, a hill.
Whoa.
And like, ooh, we're
Yeah,
turning,
now
now a
it's-
hill. So I mean, if you're not into that, then it's not gonna be fun. It's not like Great
Yeah,
Bear where
I
it's
mean,
like there's a
I
corkscrew
don't
and
know.
there's
Like
a loop.
I love Fahrenheit. Like
Yeah,
that's
same.
probably my
We didn't get
number
to go
2.
on that because it was closed some of the day and also long.
Yeah. Oh, that's probably the most consistent long line at
It's fun.
Hershey Park. Yeah.
It's a good ride.
No, it's worth like an hour wait, I'd say.
Yeah.
Just like there have been days where the waits are like 15 minutes or like I think
Yeah, you get
if
lucky
I remember
sometimes.
back, I think I've been on it to the point where we walked up and been in the station already, and we went on it like 10 times because it was just like you can't pass up that opportunity.
It's awesome. Yeah, that's like a once in a lifetime.
Yeah,
I do remember
ride.
that.
It's a perfect ride. You don't not go on that multiple times if the wait's less than 5 minutes. So, I'm glad that you got to go on everything you wanted to.
Except Fahrenheit, but that's not a big deal, you know.
Fahrenheit.
But everything else was fun.
You went on Stormrunner?
Yeah, we did. It was a short wait. It was like 10 minutes. That one's where it's like randomly throughout the day.
It could
like,
be
that's
5
minutes
hours
long.
or or you're in the queue.
Dude, that one is always surprisingly so damn fast. Like you're just like.
See, I don't like Stormrunner like at all.
Yeah, it's one of those like, Top Fuel Dragster, King to Kyle, where it just like launch. And you don't use any like chains to get you up the first hill. It's all speed.
Yeah, it just launches you up, and then it takes you through another up, and then like a turn, and then a corkscrew, and then it comes around, and it just kind of turns, and then it's done. It is short. You're expecting it to be short.
The whole thing
but
is that it goes fast.
Yeah, I think the best way to describe it is like it was like one of the first of its kind.
Yeah,
like, it wasn't. It was super innovative at the time, but now you look at other launch coasters, and you're like, I'd rather go on that. Like Sky Rush is technically a launch coaster because of the way it goes up, I think.
Maybe.
But it's not like an actual like. Shoo.
You know what I was thinking while we were in the line for Candymonium,
whatever.
You know what I was thinking?
Yeah.
Why is that the only ride in Hershey Park to be named after candy? Not ride. Maybe a ride is too much of a coaster. You know.
That's true.
Like, why not name like this is kind of lame, but maybe that's why. But like the Stormrunner, it's red. Name it like Twisted Twizzler or something nonsense.
Twisted Twizzler.
Yeah.
See, yeah, I think it would. Unless they went with like a Candyland like video game or board game type vibe for that entire park, it wouldn't work.
Yeah, it might be kind of lame.
Yeah, I honestly think the name Candymonium is lame because of all the other names. Like, unless everything else was named Twisted Twizzler,
the Haunted Hershey.
No, I'm trying to think of Fahrenheit, like Reese's.
Yeah, I was like, we need
Reese's Rambler or something like that. Like
the Reese's Runner.
Yeah, did they get rid of Wildcat?
No, it's still there.
Okay.
Oh, you know what they did?
What?
Lightning Racer doesn't race anymore. At least it didn't on today.
Is it just one?
Yeah, it was super sad.
So wait, so just one just doesn't run?
Yeah. I don't know.
It's probably because it's probably cost too much to run both of them now.
That's exactly what I said. Yep.
Yeah,
I was
probably
like,
cost.
it doesn't make sense because like it's always a 5-minute wait. No, it's way in the back
No,
of the park.
it's not even 5 minutes. Like I don't think in the past, like in
when
the
there's
most
only
recent
only
years,
one coaster.
Oh yeah. Oh, now there is. Yeah, I imagine. But in the most recent years, when it was still racing both, there was never a time like where there was more than 4 people on each coaster because there's so many like carts too for it that it'll just pump people out. And I like that ride.
Like a TLC show.
Oh yeah,
just pumping people out.
I like that ride. I think it's one of the better. I think it's probably the best wooden coaster in the park.
Yeah, that's what I told Emma. She doesn't like wooden coasters. I'm like, the only one I want to go on is the Lightning Racer. It's the best
like going
wooden one in the
and nobody goes on it. Like Wildcat.
It's too far back is the thing.
I like Wildcat too.
Yeah, that one's probably there. Comment's overrated.
You just can't ride it a lot. I have up until a point I never got a headache, and then I started getting headaches going on it, and I was like,
yeah.
But it's still like it's the most aggressive wooden roller coaster, but it's not like tolerable over time. Kommen is boring.
Yeah.
But classic. It's got that old feel. Like it's pretty tall too. It's not that.
I think it's the oldest one in the park though.
Yeah. Oh, 100%. I think it is. Yeah. But it's got a good feel to it. You know, it still holds up.
I'm just mad about that. They're not racing anymore, man. You know.
Yeah. What the heck? What are they now? Lightning.
Thunder wins. It's
Thunder just wins.
Which is why I'm like, it's called the Lightning Racers. Just have Lightning race or win, you know?
Yeah,
so I'm like, why are you doing Thunder? It might have just been the day we went, and it might go normally, but I was just upset. Yeah. You know how you ever hear about the Costco CEO who like threatened to kill somebody over the hot dog meal? Have you heard this?
No.
So are you aware that at Costco there's a meal where you can get a large soda and a hot dog for $1.50?
No, but that sounds great.
Yeah, right. It is, and apparently the CEO of Costco thinks so too because some like higher up guy went there one time and was like, "Hey, like I think we should like maybe raise the price of the hot dog meal, like maybe like $2 because it's getting kind of like not cost.
Abused.
Yeah. It's like it's not really that good for us anymore cost wise." And the CEO said, if you change the cost of the hot dog meal, I will effing kill you. And it's awesome. Like that would be me if I was like Milton Hershey's grandson. I'd be like, if you make the lightning racers stop race, I will effing kill you.
If the lightning racers stop racing, I will kill you.
Because our grandma used to call them dueling racers all the time.
Dueling. I've heard a lot of dueling racers though. People
might be what it was called before, and they just were like,
Maybe.
lightning's cool in the 90s, like how like the Toronto Raptors were like, oh, dinosaurs are cool. Jurassic Park.
That ride's ancient, so
you got to look up every like sports team that was created, like an expansion team in the 90s, because it's always like, oh, what's cool? Dinosaurs, Raptors, Sharks. Like it's like every 90s expansion team was named by like a team of 7 years old. No. Grizzlies were in Vancouver, but
yeah.
I don't know if that was an expansion team. Maybe they got moved quickly.
I was trying to think.
Anyway, that like
they moved around the 90s, right, to Memphis.
The Ducks got named after what do you call it? Disney movie. So I'm just thinking of all these 90s teams.
Yeah, I can't. It's tough to come up with more.
But anyway, that was my experience at Hershey Park. A lot of existential dread, I guess, from the lightning racers.
I'm trying, like, in my head, I'm mentally going through, like, the mental map I have of Hershey Park, which I haven't been in a while.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just, like, going around the park in my head, and I'm like, okay, have you been on this ride, this ride, this ride? Like, did you go on this ride, this ride, this ride? And then I'm like, what's in the center of the park? What is actually...
The boardwalk, tidal force, and all that.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And like the water park.
I have the app right here. Still forgot to.
Oh, nice.
You could just look at it. Candemonium.
Hopefully we're going. Oh, that's what it looks like.
Yeah, it's
pretty cool.
See, like there's the middle of the like.
Right there. Yeah. So there's not really a middle. I always thought it was like a big circle.
You can't zoom out more than this. The app's kind of weird, but look, you can like see all the wait times if they still have it. I mean, they're closing soon, so they kind of turn off the wait times. But like,
are they closing? It's 6 o'clock.
Yeah, they close. They're open 11 to 7 now.
What?
Yeah, it's kind of lame, but I think it's because of COVID.
Point is to go all day.
Yeah, I think it's. I was so tired yesterday when I was done.
I mean, that's fair. Like, I don't think. I mean, I was always like absolutely ruined at the end of the days when we used to go for the entire
legs are
day.
dragging.
Yeah. I think ibuprofen would help now. Like, just pop an ibuprofen halfway through the day and ride it out for the rest of the night. But
nice pun.
That's how I lived. Band camp was just one ibuprofen at a time.
Yeah. The next to the next.
Yeah,
But yeah, should get to Hershey soon, but it was high yesterday. Anyway.
Yeah.
The other thing I did this weekend that was nice, that wasn't orientation. We went to our friend, a nice friend, Wangoy's birthday party. Happy birthday, Wangoy. The coolest thing about it was that she's from Kenya, I want to say. I'm sorry if I'm wrong about that. But anyway, she has an aunt who's Kenyan who's married to a German man, and they lived in Germany for a little bit. And their baby is like 2 years old, cutest little thing, got curly blonde hair.
Yeah.
His name is Elias, and he spoke both English and German like a baby, like a 2-year-old.
Oh yeah.
And it was awesome.
Aww.
And he liked Emma and I, and so we were like hanging out on a curb at the end of the night, and the
baby was just sitting there.
No, so the baby came and sat next to me, right? Like in between. Well, then Emma came and sat down, and he just started saying things in German. It was cute. Like we were like the cars were parked in the street, and he's like Auto. And we couldn't tell we were saying it first, and he's like, and I'm like, oh my gosh, he's speaking German.
Oh my gosh, he's not speaking our language.
I was like taken aback. It was so cool. And then the coolest thing that's ever happened to me before. We were doing this thing. Because babies love doing the same thing over and over again, right?
Yeah.
So on the curb, he would stand up, and Emma and I were like had some space for him in between, and he would walk backwards and then sit down, and we would make like a truck backing up noise, like beep, beep, and then he would sit down, and we'd be like, yeah,
yes, let's
and then
go.
he would be pumped, and then he would stand back up and go a little further out than he did before, and then back up, and then we would come close, and we start beeping, and he would sit down, get up and move a little bit further. Eventually, the kid starts booking it down the street in the middle of the night.
God.
So I get up and start chasing after him one time, and his dad's there. So like I run after him the first time to make sure. He backs it up, and then he sits down, and then he gets up and he's gonna start going again, and his dad's there. So I'm like, he's gonna be fine to run down, but he like goes and he stops, and he goes. I think he says, I can't remember exactly what it is, but he's like kumit, or kumin. I can't remember which one it is.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? And then his cousin was there. And she's like, oh, it means come in German. And I was like, he wants me to come with him. And he's asking me in German. I was like, the coolest thing that's ever happened is this German baby. He's like, come with me and hang out, right?
Oh, yeah.
In German. It was so cool. And also he would say Fußball for
Fußball.
soccer. For soccer ball. And One time I got stuck under the car, and I was like, "Oh no, the foosball is stuck under
The
das
foo-
Auto."
foosball stuck under
like
das
I
Auto.
was like, "That's like the new Rosetta Stone. It's just
Yeah, just
adopt a
hanging
German
out
baby."
With, yeah, hanging out with German babies.
Just be like, "What do you say?"
Yeah.
I'll figure it out. It was super fun though. It was a really cool experience, and I never met a German baby before. I don't
think I can say I've met. I don't think I've met many people who can speak German.
Yeah, really, me
in
neither.
general. Mm-hmm. And if they do, they just don't do it often.
Yeah, it's not like they think, you know. It's a party trick.
Yeah. you gotta figure out that they can speak German first to ask them.
Right. But it was super cool.
Yeah, that's
and
awesome.
the party was fun, but that was the coolest part. Yeah. It kind of got overshadowed by a German baby.
Yeah. Speaking of parties.
Oh, and I saved his life. Oh, sorry.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay.
We were playing this one game, and I like this is how we first started hanging out with him.
Yeah.
We would, because it was a party, there were balloons. We would start grabbing them, and we would give them to him, and be like, "Don't
floating away." And I had to start throwing darts at the balloons
and
to get him down,
fall down, and crack his head. And we would give him the balloon and be like, "Don't throw it away." And he would take it, and he was standing on a couch, and he would take it and throw it to the other side of the couch, so we couldn't, because it was on the other side. And we were like, "No," we couldn't go get it. And we grab another one because they love repetition, and be like, "Don't throw this one." And he would take it and throw it the other way. And we were down to 3 balloons left, and he's pumped at this point. He's like,
I'm ready to go for the next one.
I'm winning this game. So I give him the balloon, and I'm like, "Don't throw this one." He's like, And he shakes his head, and he throws it as hard as he can.
Oh my God.
Which babies are not coordinated. So him throwing it one way made his body go the other way. So he launches himself towards, away from the couch, and he falls off.
Yeah.
And his head's about to crack into the table right there. And I was looking at the balloon to see it go, because I was gonna be like, "Oh." And I see him fall, and I snatch my hand out and grab him by the skull,
dad reflexes.
A foot away from the table.
Oh my God.
And I was like, "Yo, the dad reflexes are already there in full swing."
Good to know.
It means if I'm, I don't want a child yet.
Yes, yeah.
If a baby comes, I'm like, "Oh, I'm good. I can save it from killing itself."
You'll be able to take care of it.
So the dad reflexes have kicked in. That's good. But otherwise, awesome time.
Yeah, it sounds like a unique experience.
That was for sure.
But yeah, like I said, speaking of parties.
Sure, yeah.
We haven't talked about my 21st birthday party.
Oh yeah. Good transition.
Because we did not have a podcast last week when my birthday happened.
Yeah.
Or the week after my birthday happened. So let's talk a little bit about that.
For sure.
I actually had a great time that entire weekend. It was super yeah, so it started with, I don't think there was anything Friday. I think I just kind of chilled out. But Saturday morning I went with Brad to the lake, or to Susquehanna River, and we rode. I rode a jet ski for the first time, I think, ever. I think I've been on a jet ski before.
Never
on the
driven
back,
a jet
but
ski.
I've never driven a jet ski. Yeah, and I was terrified of falling off. Up until I got on it, I was like, I'm falling off instantly.
Yeah.
And my friend Taha had gone out before me. This is not, not that yet. But he had gone out before me, and he was just kind of doing little circles real slow, and and then he'd stop, and then and then he'd stop, and then and then he'd stop, and then he came back real quick. I was like, yeah, it was fun. I'm like, everyone else was just flying by top speed. I was like, I want to do that. I think that's what we were supposed to do. And so I get out there, and I start to gun it, and I gun it right away once I get past the line where you can do that. And that was the closest I came the entire day to falling off, which was terrifying because it was the first time I gunned it. I was just ran all the way down, full throttle, and it just started shaking like this and went back. And I was like, oh my God. I stopped, and then it slammed forward because if you let off the throttle, it just breaks because of the water.
Yeah.
And I slammed forward, almost went over the handlebars, and I just stood still. I'm like, okay. I'm like,
know how far
let's
I
take
can
it
go.
slow.
Yeah.
I'm like, just smooth movements. And
smooth sailing.
The rest of the day was super fun. I got the hang of it extremely quick. The first run was very it was half speed. I wasn't going too quick, but I got on top of the water like you should. I was having fun just doing a quick lap around. And then the second run, I get to the line, and I just book it up the river, and I go extremely far, down many neighborhoods distance, down up the Susquehanna.
Blocks is what they're called.
On the Susquehanna, they are chunks of seaside neighborhoods.
Yeah.
It was like the perfect day too, like overcast, not too sunny, like 70 degrees, just hot enough. The water was still warm. And I'm flying, and I come all the way back around, like biggest loop. I was not thinking I was gonna go like past 15 feet past the like right in front of us. I was like, I'm just gonna chill around here. Like, I'm terrified to go across this entire thing. Like, if I get stuck out there,
get done for.
Nobody will know I'm out there. And like, I had a life jacket on, but if I can't get back, if I can't get back on that, I'm floating down to the dam, man.
Yeah,
like,
it's over.
It's over for me. I'm getting sucked into the hydro plant, bro. Like, let them use my body as energy.
You're becoming some guy's toast in the morning.
Yeah, so I had that
That's
fear for the start. Yeah, and then the second and third time, I was just like, no fear at all, which kind of leads into the funniest part of the day, which was Taha, that same friend I mentioned earlier, who was doing little things. On his second run, he booked it. Like, he instantly got the hang of it and started booking it to the other side. We lost him, like, instantly. He came back. He said he had a lot of fun, and we were doing the last rounds of the day. I think it was just, like, 3 people that wanted to do it again. Me, him, and somebody else. And he goes out, and I'm going to be the last one. He goes out. We see him hit the marker, and pretty much everyone turns around. And we start talking, and we're like, Taha's the type of dude to now go out and buy a jet ski right after this. And within 5 seconds of saying that, somebody turns around and just points out, like, oh no, he fell. And we look out, and he's like 15 feet out from the marker, just like in the water with the jet ski completely flipped over.
Oh no!
Yeah, like it completely flipped over on him. And then it flipped back over. They're meant to, sit the right way, and they don't like sink or anything. So,
hard task to sink a jet ski.
Oh yeah, it must be tough, because he flipped that thing like 5 more times. He got on it. He tried to get on it, messed up. Tried to get on it again. Finally got up after like 3 tries. And once he didn't try to put the key in and start it. He just gave us like a woo, like that, like a fist bump, and he just started leaning and just flipped back over into the river. And then a boat came out from like the side where we were, and just drove right up next to him, asked him if he needed help, and they got him onto his boat, or onto their boat, and he jumped onto the jet ski and immediately fell over again. And then it took him like 10 more minutes to get him onto the boat before he finally got on, started it, and started going again, came all the way back, and he was exhausted after that. I was like, I did not think about how much it would take out of you, or how, like, because I asked, I was like, how do I get back on this if I fall off? And they're like, you just got to push down the bottom and hope you can scoot up and balance and stick that key in and go.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't think I'm going to be able to do that. But to his credit, on my third run, it got super choppy, which I didn't expect. The wind started picking up. It started drizzling a little bit. And I went out there and I started to gun it. And instantly I started hitting, like, waves, not from boats, literally just in the river. And it started, like, bucking me, like, out of my seat. And I was like, all right, like, we're just going to slow down and turn around. Like, we're done for the day. My second one was really fun. I had a lot of fun doing that. And then we kind of chilled for a bit, and the rain started to come, and we weren't sure if it was going to last. So we packed everything up and headed back to my friend's house, where we chilled for a bit. Up until that point, I hadn't had anything to drink. But it was a lot of fun. Came home and was already exhausted. I was like done with the day. I'm like,
arms hurt.
Yeah, I and we had done chest day Friday.
Yeah, the day before.
And I had not gone to the gym in a very long time, and I went very hard in terms of what my muscles can handle. And they were sore for like that entire 6-day period after that because of the jet ski afterwards too. So I was just like dead. My whole body was dead. And we had plans to go to the bar that night, which was super fun. We ended up going to High Thompson Timonium.
Yeah.
Didn't end up being what we thought it would be, but the nachos were good. I don't think they were like.
Nothing
I mean, personally, yeah. I'd rather have like pork nachos from Outlaw Barbecue, like some greasy, messy, not like high class, like avocado and stuff like that. Like,
yeah,
I don't want the vegetables.
Yeah.
I want cheese, meat, and sour cream. Really, that's it.
I love guac.
And then put some salsa on top. but it was still good. I had a fish taco and a Krabby Dog.
Oh, the Krabby Dog.
The Legend of the Krabby Dog.
Yeah. I think it was heavy.
I don't know if I've ever had anything more heavy. I had Five Guys last night with the boys.
Yeah.
Nothing compares to what the Krabby Dog was.
Krabby Dog, like, I ate half of a Krabby Dog, which is a hot dog, a pretty thick frank, if you will.
Yeah, I mean,
with crab meat on top of it.
It was the normal, like, sized hot dog. It wasn't like,
Yeah.
it wasn't too spectacular. Like, the hot dog was a little big. The bun was maybe a tad bigger than normal.
It's a normal hot dog.
And it was a decent amount of crab dip. And I took one bite, and instantly it sank to the bottom of my stomach like a rock. And I was like, I know I can't eat any more of that.
Yeah, I was shoving down half of one.
Yeah, we shared it. And I ended up probably taking like 3 or 4 bites. And by the end of it, I couldn't stomach another bite of anything.
Yeah.
Let alone the 2 grape bombs that I had to take down.
Oh, yeah.
Because I rock paper scissors Jameson to see who would take the third one.
Yeah.
If he was gonna take 3 or I was gonna take 2.
Yeah.
We ended up splitting it because I lost and tried to take all of it and almost like threw up because of the Krabby Dog.
You know,
I was like no.
You know, how calories like actually a measurement of like energy.
Energy, yeah.
You know, and like how like plutonium has like 5 quadrillion calories, like something like that.
Yeah,
you
that
know,
makes
where it's
sense,
like like if you eat it, like obviously you're not gonna eat it, but
Yeah,
it would
yeah.
like it's too many calories. Right?
Yeah.
That's what a Krabby Dog felt like. Eating pure plutonium.
Plutonium 241.
I don't think I'll ever have to eat again.
Oh
you know?
no, yeah. And there's 2. It came with 2.
Yeah.
When you order one meal, it was like $20 probably, which
know.
seems like a lot for one Krabby Dog.
That's
you
crab on it.
You get 2 Krabby Dogs. They were very good. Honestly, like
Yeah, they were tasty.
if it was, you know, those like New York frou-frou places that give you one perfect bite.
Yeah.
If they did that for the Krabby Dog, I'd be happy.
Hell
Give me
yeah.
like a $5 Krabby Dog bite.
Can you imagine go to like a fancy restaurant and
like a
Krabby
wedding,
Dog?
and they have like the toothpicks shoved into Krabby Dogs. And they
Oh my gosh, that'd be a nice hors d'oeuvre, but you wouldn't eat any more.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, you'd have one thing and then
very thin slice.
yeah.
Like a pepperoni.
Yeah, and then we moved from High Tops to the Rec Room in Towson, which was a definite college bar
Oh, yeah.
for Towson.
I saw too many people I knew there. Not that it's a
Yeah,
bad thing.
I saw
Shout
a lot
out
of
to the
people I knew
knew.
too.
But
Yeah. It was nice seeing them for the first time in a while. I haven't seen them since high school, those
Yeah.
people. So it was great, like, talking to them. I haven't seen them in a long time. But, like, the atmosphere is not, like, I'd much rather us go to Baltimore.
Yeah.
Like, go to Baltimore, go to, not even Ocean City, I don't think. Like, we just got to go to, like, a different city. Like, go to Nashville, go to
Nashville would be cool.
Florida, go to Louisiana, go to anywhere else, really.
Mm-hmm.
But I had a lot of fun. I think it's the only time I've had like fun drinking. Like all the drinks tasted good. Ended up just having like 4 Orange Crushes at the end of the night at the Rec Room, which were great. I was much more drunk than I thought I was towards the end of the night. But yeah, it was all fun. I had a great time. So yeah, that was my birthday. Went to bed right after that and woke up perfectly fine. Went to another dinner at Buffalo Wild Wings, which
dropped off, man.
Extremely lackluster. I guess maybe it's Sunday, the fact that it was a Sunday, but they had no drinks. The drink that they gave me was the same that 2 others had gotten. Ian had gotten one. And I tried Ian's, and I was like, man, that's good. And mine tasted like pure alcohol, and they said they were out. Like, they couldn't make any more. And they just dumped all the alcohol on the mine and gave it to me. It was terrible.
And the food wasn't that good. I mean, the wings were fine.
The wings were
took
exactly.
a while.
Yeah, the wings. Everything took a while. And they gave it to us one at a time. So it was like probably 10 to 15 minutes of just like, here you go, and then walk away. Yeah, and then here you go.
Came out with one plate.
Yeah,
like, what is happening?
Yeah, and they came out with like one fry, and they put it down, and they're like, there you go. And it's like, what's happening here?
Yeah, right.
Like, do you have like 2 people back there making, you know, it was wild. Wild Wings.
Ooh. But you had fun though. Whole
Oh
weekend?
yeah, a lot of fun.
Good.
Last like fun weekend I could have until this week, which has now been done with, and I finally get to relax. And except I don't, because I work tomorrow, and then school starts Monday. Yeah.
That sucks.
So I've already like mentally prepared. Like, the week's coming past I was like, I get to enjoy this week, my birthday week. Enjoy this week doing nothing except working because that was my normal schedule. Enjoy my birthday and then accept that life is over for a good bit.
It's no more fun.
Yeah, and then push through the semester, and then winter break I can start having fun again.
There you go. Good.
And then I have to do it all over again for the next semester. But
that's life, baby.
Yeah, but band won't be a thing because I probably won't be doing pep band. Either way, it's not marching band, so it won't be as intense.
You want to know my That's Life moment of the week?
Yeah.
I was at West Middle, which is in Westminster, which is also where my barbershop is that I go to. And we got an hour lunch break. Wasn't really hungry, and it was the last day that we were in Westminster because then we're going to homeschools the next days after that. Yeah. And I was like, oh, let's go get my haircut. It's getting kind of long, kind of unruly. It's not that bad right now, but in the back, I gotta go this way. It's getting kind of long. Doesn't matter. Starts
to curl.
Yeah. So
I'm letting mine go past that.
I'm starting teaching soon. I should probably look, representable. So I go to it's not that far away. It's like I said, it's in the same town. I get there and I go to a family-owned barber, which is really great most of the time. They're super nice. They relatively know me now, which is cool. They know what I want. I go there and I don't follow them on Facebook or anything like that. And it's like a Tuesday afternoon, at noon, and I'm like, all right, time to get my haircut. And I go up. It says closed on the thing. I'm like, oh, they must not have flipped it around. I'm like, that's weird. And I go and the door's locked. And I look at the times, and it's 9 a.m. to 7. They were open. They should have been open. They should have been open. I was like, and it was really weird. And I look over, look around the door, and there's a sign that says, "We're on vacation, August 24th or 22nd through 29th." Yeah. And I'm like, that sucks. I'm like, that's today, isn't it? It's well, I'm out of luck. And I was like, I like supporting them, as a business. I still plan on doing it. This didn't take away my loyalty. But I'm like, that's the way she goes, baby.
That's how the cookie crumbles.
It crumbled, though, right? All over my hair. So, but anyway.
Yeah, there's a lot of moments in life where you just have to accept it. You start to look at things in time frames. In that sense, it's a very short time frame.
I think I'll make it.
In my time frame, I'm looking at it as not even a year. I say a year, but it's 2 semesters worth, and then I'm done. Yeah. And then I'm in normal life with a job.
Yeah. So it gets unhealthy looking at it like that because you'll always find another thing to diversify in the time period.
I'm excited to diversify my time period though. Once I get out of school, I just don't want school to be a focus. Yeah. Except the fact that I probably will be going back to school for a master's almost immediately because hopefully the place I get hired at, if I get hired there, will pay for my schooling. Sure. And I will just immediately start applying to places.
That is nice. I like that.
So I want to do continuous schooling, but I think I'm going to drag it out. Sure. I don't want school to be a primary focus at all.
Yeah, it's natural for us to I think as humans to look at things as a time frame thing because our lives are so dominated by time. Yeah. But it gets unhealthy, to the point where it's I just got this and then I'm good, or I just got this and I'm good. And then I'm not sure that's how you're looking at school, but it does sound like you're it's not going to be fun.
Yeah, but I think it's beneficial to know. It's still
it's good to have a light at the end of the tunnel, I guess, but it's also it's always going to be something you don't want to do in life. So.
Oh yeah, no, it's not. I'm not expecting it to be all, green grass and high tides. I figure that's just a song, but
sure.
Do you not know that song?
No.
Oh, okay.
I might.
It's a Guitar Hero song. So
green grass and high tides.
You might know it.
I just don't. I can't think of the lyrics.
I knew green grass and bright skies or something like that, and I just defaulted to that song. But
I'm not trying to be like Johnny High Horse over
here.
Oh yeah, no. But because I'm doing it right now. I'm in a year I'm getting married. Oh, in 2 years I'm done grad school.
No,
in 3 years I get tenure.
Yeah.
So I'm just it sucks when it's dominates your life. So
yeah, I'm not letting it dominate. I'm just
good.
I want to live. I'm seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, but I'm living day to day.
Totally. Good.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
And on that,
I think we're gonna end the episode there.
Yeah, we should have gone for 2 hours because we missed last week. People would stop listening to our podcast.
Yeah, let's go for that would they'd be 2 hours, really?
I get through an hour because we like you guys.
Yeah, man, I tried to sit through this one.
Yeah, right. Thank you for listening, though.
Yeah, we always thank you for listening. Go follow us on Instagram and Twitter at Brothers Whimm, YouTube the Brothers Whimm podcast. Our Gmail is at brotherswhim@gmail.com. saying at before email.
I know,
sorry.
I know.
Common mistake.
Especially when you're saying social media right before it.
Oh yeah.
You're doing well there up until that.
Yeah, I mean I was, and
What can
I
you
could have just accepted the fact you shouldn't say sorry when broadcasting, but
Is that a
essentially
thing?
I did. Yeah, that's like number one rule. You never apologize for a mistake in broadcasting.
Oh, you just move on from it.
You literally just don't acknowledge that it ever happened.
Too bad.
Too bad. I acknowledged it.
We're just nice people.
Oh yeah, we gotta let you guys know how we're doing. We're doing terribly, so
And
we
apologetic.
appreciate you guys watching as always.
It's the only thing getting us through.
Oh yeah, I've been Matt,
And I'm Ian.
and this was the Brothers Win podcast.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.